So honored to have with us today the number one contender for the NXT Championship, Ilja Dragunov. Ilja, welcome to Under the Ring Pro Wrestling Conversations. So happy you're here with me today.
Good day, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
So for the second time, it's you versus Carmelo Hayes, this time headlining NXT No Mercy Premium Live event in Bakersfield, California, Sunday, October 1st. People were very excited about the match you guys had the first time. What about you two makes your matches magic, and what makes him such a strong opponent for you?
I mean, like you just gotta look at him. I mean, like Carmelo Hayes had a lot of impressive performances as the champion, and who is better to compete with him than this person like me? Because we gotta look at the time that I'm back in NXT, the performances I delivered, the way I make people feel something when they step into this ring. And I think this is like the perfect combination to make the people excited because the people want to feel something when they see a performance like we both presented. We presented this performance already. So the second part is just going to be an add-on to this, and it's going to be nothing different than an exciting performance that people just, which is a must-see for the people to see.
Were you familiar at all with Carmelo Hayes before you got to NXT? Had you gotten to watch him at all before getting to see him firsthand?
I remember the time when I won the NXT UK Championship. There was a time when I wrestled Gunther. I already knew because when I think right, he was in the breakout tournament,
Right.
and I saw a couple of performances from him. Maybe talked once or twice to him, but I knew that this was kind of one of the guys who was like coming at those times, and to see how he progressed is pretty impressive. To see how he paved his way and what kind of persona he became. So I kind of were already familiar with him. So, but we're looking forward to compete with him for a while already.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I actually had the opportunity to see him. My local independent promotion where I am in the Northeast was actually one of the places he came from. So I've seen him progress from that to NXT, and then even to now as the champion. How have you progressed since that time, from like the beginning of NXT UK to now? How do you feel about the ways that you've kind of changed and tweaked anything or improved?
I think I improved a lot. I mean, like this whole business is about the journey and about experience. And experience is something that you can't buy, you can't learn. You just gotta make it. And through this whole time, I were able to learn so many things. I were able to progress in so many levels. First of all, because of the trust that the right people always put into me, where I always felt very free to do the things my way, and how the people responded to this, how the people reacted to this, how much freedom they gave to me to just be myself and to use my strength to develop my character, to develop myself, to develop my performances. It was a beautiful time. It was a time with a lot of hard work to put in, but I'm happy about every moment I got, and I learned so much. And only through this time in this company, I became the person I am today, and I'm very, very proud of this person.
And you've been all over the world and have been highly regarded as one of the world's better wrestlers for a long time. When you see the WWE training system, the Performance Center, what do you think of it, and how does it help a guy like you? Like, how does, because I think that's something that people wonder sometimes. You have people that are there that are beginners who are from scratch, and some people there like yourself who have a previous history of a decade plus. So what kind of things do you learn when you're in the WWE Performance Center, or even in the UK one? I think you were in too.
I mean, I learned from the best. That's how you can actually just put it very simple. I mean, like you have the opportunity to learn right away from the moment you enter into the performance center, regardless of if it's the one that has been in London or the one which is in Orlando, Florida. You have the possibility to get the whole amount of knowledge at once. You have the possibility to talk to the people with countless years of experience and all at once. So those surroundings are just forcing you. They're forcing you to become the best version of yourself. And if you don't become it, that is basically a fault up to you because you have the possibility to talk to all those great minds, to pick up all the information that is necessary to know what this business, what this art is truly all about, and how you can embrace it for yourself in the most complete way possible. So there's no better surrounding to become the greatest version of yourself in this industry.
And any particular mentors along the way in the WWE Performance Center that kind of resonate with you the most? And just I have to ask about Shawn Michaels and just kind of your relationship with him too.
Of course, I mean, like, definitely Shawn Michaels. Especially in his case, it's such a easy working environment for me because if you have a obviously a legend like him there, and you can just randomly get into a conversation with him about ideas, about things you want to do. This is the most comfortable feeling ever for yourself. And if I look at my work and the ideas I have and the thoughts, if they're possible and if they're manageable and if I can execute them the way I want to do, and then to get like the feedback from a person like him who had countless amount of outstanding performances, who always have been and will be like one of the most unique personas in this industry. What should I say? It can't get any better.
And it seems like he kind of understands the business on probably another level than a lot of other people too, just because of the high levels that he's operated on, throughout his career. So, how and when did you decide to become a pro wrestler?
It was not a real decision for me. Like, I must say that my entry into this business was kind of like as an accident because I remember those times like I mean like I'm in this probably around 11 years already. So at the very beginning when I got to know wrestling itself was by just accidentally watch a television show. It was SmackDown and it was a match between Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle. So I had the best starts to this business that you could have imagined. Like I mean, like Rey Mysterio is one of a dying breed, like and still is like an absolute underdog babyface, entirely inspiring, fighting from the ground to the top and being absolutely spectacular in the ring. And then you have Kurt Angle on the other side, which has an intensity that is unmatched, unique, and I hope to reach those levels someday in my own way. So this was kind of my entry to the whole thing, and there was no where I'm from in Germany, where I was raised. There were no real pro scene in that times, right? So I got to know someone who started a wrestling school in Dresden. After a while, where there was like more kind of backyard wrestling around it, and his name is Axel Tischer, formerly known as Alexander Wolf. So he
Right,
was my
right.
first trainer in this performance art, and through him, it just one thing came after another. I never had the plan to be in this job or to be in this industry, but I just couldn't stop because for me, everything I do is about self-expression, and this art gave me the chance to self-express myself in the most honest and most complete way. And so I just kept going. I just kept going for the sake of the passion. And so one thing came after another. I had my debut at GWF in Berlin. I went straight to WXW, which is like the biggest, most professional promotion in Germany, over to the UK, which took Progress. Then my chances in America, PWG, all those things I just had one step after another. And I always wanted to go this next step. Doesn't matter where I gonna end up.
And it's fascinating to me that it was Angle and Mysterio because that they both, like you mentioned, like they both do sort of have elements of what you try to do. Like you mentioned about Angle's intensity, like you're pretty much one of the most intense wrestlers I could think of. So it's like you do take a little bit of them. So, but it's interesting that it was American style that really got you interested in it. But then you get to work in the different styles too. And I think you mentioned Axel Tischer, Alexander Wolf, former NXT tag team champion for people who are listening with what was the name of the group? I'm trying to remember now. Sanity. He was in when he was NXT tag team champion, and I always thought he was somebody who was an excellent wrestler, and I guess it must have been a pretty good teacher too.
Extremely. Like he was like probably the best teacher I could have right at the start, because he's such a good worker. He's such a good human being. He is very, very disciplined. He is absolutely honest, which is also a very important part in training people, being even like sometimes so honest that it hurts a little bit, but you gotta be it, because otherwise you're not gonna improve. And I just remember all those good times. I just remember those good times when we were just about to start, and he puts so much effort into everything he does. So I'm very, very happy and proud that that he was my beginning, that he paved like kind of the way for me too, and did his best to give me as much knowledge as possible for me. And yeah, I'm so happy I'm still in contact with him, and still calling him my friend after all those years. It's just this business has so much more to offer, and especially if you make like very good friends and very good boundaries in it, it's a fulfilling feeling.
And you got a chance to work with him, I think, a little bit in NXT UK too, because I think he was still in Imperium, kind of at the beginning of that story with you guys. And well, you can't bring up NXT UK without the match for so many people from that show, and even a little wilder, your clash with the man now known as Gunther, Walter at the time. When you were wrestling in that match with him, did you know that you were creating something that special that people were going to really enjoy?
I mean, how to say it? I mean, like I had a lot of fights with him already back in Germany, so it was nothing like, not first time for me to step with him into the ring, and I know him since probably already 2013, and I really must say that there's no person in this industry who influenced and made me more than he did. So it is like nobody. If I think about my passion for this business and for this art, he's the first name that pops up into my head, the first one. And it was, I mean, of course you don't go into there and you expect like you're gonna create something that people's gonna talk about for such a long time, what they still do, which is amazing for me. But when I think about him, I know he's just one of a kind. Never ever somebody will be like him, from his knowledge to his way to his style to everything. So I knew this must be something. And if I bring into the table what I have to offer, like my biggest strength, which is like getting beaten down to the ground, being absolutely destroyed, but still come up, because there's nothing on this planet that will ever stop me. If you combine those forces with each other in such an organic and natural way, there is I don't have anything more to give. We don't have anything more to give. And if you have something so pure, I think that is what attracts people. It's something pure and like a feeling that you, even if it's just this brutality, it captivates people because it feels so real, and the people want to experience something real.
How exciting is it for you to see all the things that he's doing now, first on SmackDown and then on Raw, and then as the Intercontinental Champion for longer, amazingly enough, than anybody ever? Just what does that make you feel when you see what he's doing?
I mean, what should I say? On one side, I'm happy because I think it's so deserved. Like, there's no other words in my head for this, because again, there's no person in this industry that influenced me more and made me the person I am today and made this performances possible, my mindset possible, than him. No one, absolutely no one. And on the other side, it's obvious. Like, look at him. look how great he is. He is, to take it to one statement, he is the bar for me. I only measure myself on him.
Yeah. I would love to see you guys run it back on a higher level. If you guys were able to do something at a premium live event for WWE at some point, if you were able to mix it up with him again, I think it's only natural to get you guys. You guys have wrestled so many different places at this point that it seems only natural to get you guys back in the ring again. What does it feel like to be in the ring with Gunther? It doesn't look like it's enjoyable.
I mean, we're talking about, I think this industry is all about presenting a fight.
Sure.
That's as easy as it gets because physicality is something every person believes, right? There's so many different ways to attract the attention of the audience. So many different ways. But one way that will always work, doesn't matter where, everywhere, in my opinion, is physicality. And if you present a real fight, if you present something where you mean something, where you hear the sounds of the strikes and everything, it just catches your attention. So this is exactly how it is to be in the ring. It gets physical.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into a fight, you're gonna be prepared, especially as me, being more, let's say, more of the underdog person. I'm not the heaviest one, I'm not the tallest one, but I definitely have the biggest fighting spirit in this industry. I fully believe that. So, and if you bring everything of that to the table, you're gonna expect to suffer. You're gonna expect to feel fatigue like never ever before. I remember the match at NXT UK. I After the match was over, I literally, or even between in the match, I literally thought, I don't know how to keep going anymore. I just
Wow.
don't know how to keep up anymore. Like just body wise, I wanted to, but I didn't feel like I didn't know how to continue. And after the match, when it was over, I thought I can't even move anymore. I don't want to. I don't know how to move anymore.
Wow. Is there anybody else over the course of your career that you feel like you've had similar chemistry with, like with Gunther in the ring?
I can't remember because I mean like it doesn't matter who I wrestle. Like it doesn't matter with who I stand in the ring with. I always happy. I always passionate and always want to deliver the best possible. It doesn't matter. But thinking about back on all those years, that's a big question. I don't think I can compare anyone to him because he's so significant for my career, for all those career steps I did. I mean, like, I have respect for any opponent I ever faced, but I don't think I can say anyone who were on this level.
Very good. You might be one of the most emotive wrestlers I've ever seen. There's never any doubts that you're in a physical fight, like you said, when you're in the ring. Is there something that you draw some of those facial expressions out of? Is it, or is it's something that you've kind of built over the course of your career? Just, because you have a face that just is emoting, all sorts of emotions throughout the entirety of pretty much everything you do, even in interviews sometimes.
I mean, we all got to use our strength. We got to give certain things you can learn, but I think on certain parts you just got to use what you have already inside yourself. I don't think there are any people on this planet who are boring or anything. I think if you reach down deep into your soul, you're gonna find something that is entirely unique to you, and you need to use it. And that's what I relied on my whole career. I just used what I already had. Like even privately, I'm a very bad liar because you gotta see what I truly feel in my face every single time. So and all those emotions, I just execute in the ring. It's like when I feel something in a certain moment in the match, I just express it. I just let myself go because otherwise I would try to force anything, and I can't force anything. I believe the best performance you can deliver as a performer is the most honest one. So if you're trying to portray something you are entirely not, the people won't connect to it. And then when the people don't connect to it, they're not gonna want to watch your fight. If they're not gonna want to watch your fight, they're not gonna watch the show. And this is like a whole circle. So I present myself the most honest way, and how I express my face is just how I would express my face, maybe in a more extreme way in a match. But I'm just this expressive person, and if I wouldn't use that, I would just throw away all my strength.
Yeah, and it seems like your style too would be feeding off of a live crowd a lot in terms of your emotion too. So that had to be good to get that back. You're actually performing in front of people again. I know because some of those NXT UK ones was limited crowds or nothing at all really. It's on some of them. So is that something that you feed off of with kind of your emotions and your performances too? Is the crowds just try to feel it and make them feel something like you said?
I mean, like obviously, like you want to perform in front of the crowd. That's the whole experience. You want to have people around you that you feel you're connected with. When you look into the audience, you want to see the people's faces. You want to see how captivated they are. Are they not? How much noises are around you? This is definitely something you work with. But I must say, like even those times where there were no crowd at all were beneficial. I mean, like if you look back at this one match we talked about already, like the one with Gunther, it benefited to have no crowd because you could have you could hear the noises of those strikes even more, right? And I believe you gotta be you gotta be able to adapt to every situation, and you can't change the fact through the situation of the world at this point of time we're talking about. There were no possibility to have people around you. So, but you gotta still gotta go in and feel it. You gotta still feel it like there is someone around you because people will watch that. So, I have the big strength that I really don't care about how many people are in the audience, because even if there is only one person sitting there, I still gotta give him my whole soul to feel. And I really appreciated those times because you know what you want if you don't get what you want.
And it's really like adapting to your environment too, just making sure that the performance kind of fit the the environment that you were into. Is there anybody you'd like to step in the ring with in WWE who you have not yet? Anybody that you'd look forward to?
I mean, there are countless people. I mean, like this company is filled with an unlimited amount of great talent. So there's so many people I think I could create something special with. The first person, like one of the people that comes to my mind is definitely like Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm.
People like Seth Rollins, who's like also have all this artistic, expressive way with the people, and this is like you see how over he is and how many attention he gets. Uh, and definitely, I mean, as long as the chance is still there, maybe with one of the people who were the first I've been watching, like Rey Mysterio, for example.
Yeah, that would really be fun. And I had the opportunity SummerSlam, what was it, 2002? The opening match was Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle, and it was just like nothing you could ever see in person. It was just an unbelievable match with two guys absolutely at the top of their game at that point, and just it was such a thrill to be able to be at that live. So we're going to move on to something we call the 3 count now. It's going to be 3 quick questions and your answers. So your entrance with kind of the conducting of the orchestra, where did that come from? And do you have any type of a musical background?
No, I don't have any music background. I would just like I said, I'm just flowing. And if you hear this classical music and if you hear those instruments and you just feel the passion, and I just like to get myself into the zone as fast as possible. And I really love the music, love the interest music I have. So if I hear those instruments and I hear the sounds, I just want to flow with it. I just don't want to. I just want to recognize it, you know. And I think in this way, the people you see even more how much passion I have even before the fight begins.
Yeah, and it's something interactive you can do with the crowd too, because I'm sure they're going to all pick it up and be moving their
Absolutely.
hands. They do it pretty well in time too. Second question: you were born in Russia, grew up in Germany. Now you're living in the U.S. Just how are you finding living in the U.S.?
I mean, in my heart, I'm still a European person. I still believe we have a far better coffee. I still believe that to have some seasons is actually pretty nice. I like to wear jackets and coats, so I kind of need to get used to the heat. Um, it is strange because I feel like I immigrated to another country for the second time in my life and kind of adapting to all of these different things. It's definitely not easy. It's definitely something I still try to get used to. But I'm also like let's say I'm a person who needs a longer time to adapt things in general. Even like just in my private life, I used to my routines and my habits and everything, and just try to go out and get used to different situations. It's not easy for me. I still manage that, no doubt about this, but it's definitely uh, it's definitely a big change in my life. But like my I have like very good colleagues here that I spend time with. I mean, like if you look for example, Oro Menza, I know this guy since NXT UK times. We roomed together like so often in hotels and everything like that, and having him around and have like another German speaker around me, which is a big benefit for me.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak German, English, and Russian language.
Very nice. Very cool. And then last question: if you were able to take on any wrestler, past or present, who would it be and why?
Kurt Angle. Definitely Kurt Angle, because I think this would be an overload of intensity. It's just a simple overload of intensity. Just I would just like I wouldn't even think about anything else that I'll outmatch him in intensity. I would just try. I would fail. Who knows? I can try really hard, but this would be something that people wouldn't forget.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be rooting for you and all, but I would also like to see you in the ankle lock at some point, just to see what that would look like from
Painful,
your perspective.
painful.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'd be able to read it all over your face. So, um, Ilya Dragunov, thank you so much for joining me today on Under the Ring Pro Wrestling Conversations. You're taking on Carmelo Hayes, NXT No Mercy on Peacock Premium Live Event, Bakersfield, California, Sunday, October 1st. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.